welcome to the Patreon preview type haul video we're going to do, where today we're going to be looking through all the crap I bought for £2, as it had some cassettes, some PC parts, some cables. Essentially he threw it all together for £2 because he wanted it gone and he was a clearance seller. So, why don't we start by seeing exactly what's been picked up and if it's actually any good. So I'm going to put the thing on a little stand and we can go from there. Of course, completely unedited. Oof. There we go. So we have a cup of tea ready, and the little stand. And it's not exactly going to be professionally edited or anything, as you can see by the dog in the background. Put the tea back down. So, firstly, we have a cassette holder, somewhat decent. We have what appears to be a power supply, covered in dust. It says for, it's either Mark, Mara or Martha, 500 watt. What's that say? To keep warranty, please do not remove, which has been removed partially. And yeah, it feels as light as a feather. That's reliable. We will have to see if that even works. We have a Sony video that says cooking, chef found Bretagne, I think. And after that brief interlude, to actually move the camera back, we can put Cooking by Sony on the pile and continue our search. So I'm just going to drag this over. A blank Type 1 cassette. No, not blank. It was blank at one point. The Zootons. Small Faces. I can hardly read these. Eurythmics. Scissor Sisters. Actually some somewhat decent songs. I'll probably record over that. Surprisingly decent little cassette. We can put that in our little cassette holder, actually. It's quite decent. Oh, we have another video, which is... oh, I can't show that. That is a address, which is EMTV, and the address again. Yeah, I can't show that. I'm going to have to cut that out, probably. Oh, well. It's another cassette, this time with... careers. I can't read some of these, they're so faded. No clue what's on that, but we will record over that at some point. Oh boy. Hooked on Classics, the very best. Hooked on a Can. Oh boy, this looks abysmal. What else? Oh, a nice and sealed ferric cassette that can be used. Audio 4, low noise, as I say, C60, it's a 60-minute Ferris cassette, which doesn't appear to be, no, it has been, with SNIS Grammy B. Their handwriting is appalling. I can hardly read it. I'm not saying mine's good either, but this is really bad. And we got Rigolette Act 2, or Rigoletta, I don't know if you guys can see that, it is not very visible. Yeah, not ideal there. Okay, there we go. What I've had to do is move the phone slightly so everything can be in shot more and it doesn't overheat, because I'm recording on the phone because it's got better autofocus than my camera. And I've had to put a fan there because it's really hot outside and otherwise the phone overheats and I can't record. So next on our list is actually a PC component again. So it's not a cooking show. It is the ATI Radeon. Oh no, this is an ECS. I think this is a Pentium 4 locked motherboard, so Pentium 4 Prescott, I think, or a Pentium D, but given the VRM quality, I think we're looking at a Pentium 4 locked board with X200 integrated graphics and somewhat decent, you know, colour scheme. I mean, it's better than a lot of the stuff you see from the early 2000s. Couple of bent pins, like on the corner. so that'll be something to fix, see if it actually works. No actual damage, a few scuffs, a few sort of marked traces, but not too bad. I'll put that down there. I don't know, the fan shouldn't be too disturbing. If not, I'll remove that in post. Might damage the audio quality slightly, but Rhythm of the Sun. It's the inlay card. What's on it? I don't know. It's a Curry's cassette. Jeez, I haven't seen one of these. That's decades old. We have another cassette holder, as if we needed another one, but that will be useful. We have another cassette holder, and oh god, dried thermal paste on clearly what was the processor for that motherboard, and we can brush this up a bit. Ugh, this looks like it's been sat in that bag. It's going green. I don't know if you can sort of see the discoloration around there. Oh, it is a Pentium. It says Pentium. Jesus, faded. Pentium D 945. Another one. These things are incredibly common. So I suppose that answers our question of what was being used with this board. The horrible, manky discoloration, of course, not being something enjoyable. Ugh, that's horrible. It's got a few. I just noticed a lot. Few. I think that they look like burn marks, which might explain why it's sitting in a bag, because there's burn marks on the bottom. Not ideal, but you know, we can't always have everything. Moving on, another cassette, The Wedding of Nicholas and Raymonda. Now this is a classic. This is actually their wedding from 1989. So Nicholas or Raymonda, if you're watching this, you can have your tape back. Currently, that means it's just going to go on the pile to not be used, but we can definitely see what we can do with it otherwise. Moving on through the pile, we have the 50th celebration of her Greatest Hits Live, Kiri. What else? Gradually getting through these. We have the Critics' Choice of Contemporary Aline Klein. Ignore the dog, he's just enjoying himself. Oh, it's Mozart and Aline Klein. Yes, exactly what we wanted to see. That's one for the pile. We didn't want to see that, actually. Another blank one, which appears to have Alexa Hill. Oh, that's a lovely cassette, though. Look at that. That is a nice one. And they haven't removed the recording over pins, so we can record over that at some point. Put some music on that. And going through, let's see, another blank one. We have the Sound 90, which is a. It's got my Bloody Valentine Loveless on it. Yep. So music taste, Mozart and My Bloody Valentine. Strange combination. The Four Seasons. On oh, it's chrome tape. Depressing that is actually a nicely mastered, just horribly tasting music. Not a big fan of classical. Just going to move the camera over now. Let's begin on bag 2, because there's still stuff in bag 1, but I need to move anyway. So we have a floppy disk drive cable to go down in our computing pile. We have Ethernet and Firewire and some cheap earphones in a bundle of sorts, complete with some micro USB, a micro USB end piece that goes in focus, which it isn't, but you get the idea. That can go down in our computing pile. We have my cup of tea, which is actually, if anything, getting warmer in the sun. Very nice. And oh boy, here's a big one. Moving away from the computing stuff, we have, I've just found where a lot of our collections come from. The world's most beautiful music. Listen to the that is not supported on that motherboard. I think the most that tops out is 2 gigs. So we will have to see about that, whether or not that is the reason that it is in this bag. Anyway, for now, 2 gigs of RAM, down the file. And graphics card. With a hard drive in it as well. Is this I can't tell what that is actually. I'm just gonna put that. That's actually large. I'll put that on camera. So I'm back, and I found out what this is. This graphics card, which was, as you can see, I'm just going through this whole box of crap. And yeah, this is an OEM version of the 7950, and apparently it's underclocked, and it was mainly for CAD acceleration, so it's not exactly, you know, the height of power. And it'll also explain why there's the burn mark. See, what I think's happened is they have run this down here, very cheap power supply, which is completely unbranded, with one of these on their motherboard with a Pentium D, and it's caught it on fire. Because as I said, the VRMs on there don't appear to be very good, the power supply doesn't appear to be good, and this is quite a power-hungry card, hence the 6-pin connector. So, what I think's happened is a lot of these PC parts may have been damaged. Whether or not they work will be surprising. Personally, judging by the condition this is in, I think this may have been the part that killed it. Whether or not the Pentium D works with the scorch marks on it, we'll have to find out later on. Anyway, I'll pop that down there. We have a hard drive, which appears to be completely awful. The Maxtor 160 gigs, is it 7200 RPM? 2006. So yeah, about that old. These things usually stopped working about a decade ago. Probably broken, I'm guessing. At least it would go with the rest of the PC part that doesn't work. We have apparently another cassette holder, because you know, things can always get better. Except we have another video. What's this one? This one is cooking. Again, they really like cooking. Cooking to go on the pile next to Wedding 1989. I want to know, let me know if you want to actually see these ones. Rocket into the Free World. By, who's this by? We will never know. It's a Type 1 cassette. We have a 245 Ferric Philips cassette of the Cypriot Wedding song. You get the idea. Lots of wedding bass memorabilia down here. The Blackbird's just sort of, you know, punching away. There he goes. On his way. There we go. The joys of Patreon preview. It's nature. It's budget builds. You know, we're mainly discussing people's wedding on old videotapes. Rigoletto on Ferric cassette, Type 1. Ferric 90 with something on it. I personally have no idea. It's got nothing written on it, so we'll actually have to play it and see probably. Don't have a video player here. I might actually. I'll have to see. I finally got rid of all the noise in the background, including the fan, which hopefully I've edited out in post. Hopefully. And which was a bit annoying, but it can't really... It's so warm that if I film, then the phone overheats and you get the general idea. Next bit is Rigoletto Part 2. More classical. I'm just going to start going through this very quickly now, because we've pretty much gone through the majority. We have another cassette tray. Some form of music on a Ferric. Another Ferric cassette. I think that's classical. Yes, it is. That's another one for the pile. CDing. Is that it's a Type 2 that they're claiming is CD quality. Chances are whatever's been recorded on here, it could sound CD quality, if it probably wasn't recorded off the radio. But this stuff appears to have been used, it's left halfway through, and yes, you get the general idea. More of the opera. We nearly reached the end of bag 1. So faded. That is Find Linda. No idea what that is. Going through, we have Classical Collection. TDK. I'm pretty sure that's some German orchestra. Another TDK, which is empty. Nice. Another TDK, which is ferric and also empty? I don't know. Doesn't say anything, and if it did, it's too faded to read. And aside from... What's this? Oh, 2 gigs DDR2 in this bag, which is not as bad as... Well, I mean, it probably explains where their issue is. I don't think that board supports 4 gigs, but we will see. We will see. Audio 4, another C60 cassette, this time featuring, I'm just opening it up, no information whatsoever, which isn't surprising. And then, of course, the final one is another one, saying absolutely no information whatsoever. So, final bag of cassettes, and we can then round off the end of the video. So, I'm going to just go through... Oh! Cooler! Which is surprising and looks broken in some areas, which is not surprising. Getting there through this bag, as once again too hot to film outside, and inside it's not ideal because limited space. More classical, tons more classical. Yeah, the general idea is the rest of this is just classical. Not even, there's a couple of blank cassettes in there. I think that one there's a blank cassette. Yeah, that is. So that's about it. And there's more around. So, today's pickups mostly include ECS motherboard that could possibly be broken, a power supply for Martha that is probably broken, someone's wedding tape, lots of blank cassettes, and a graphics card that appears to have burn marks on it. So you get the general idea. Not bad for £2.